Hey friends, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new, if you've never seen my face before. My name is Kay, I'm a professional home organizer, and today we are going to do a very rudimentary, what I think should be everyone's first organizing project. We are going to organize a drawer today. We're not going to do just any drawer today. Oh no, we're going to do the king of messy drawers, the princess of disastrous spaces in your kitchen, the junk drawer. If you're just getting started organizing your home and you don't know where to start, my first recommendation is to organize a single solitary drawer. It's a small space, it's probably achievable in a single afternoon, it's not too intimidating, and it's one of the easiest spaces in your home to organize because there's just really not a lot of options when it comes to drawer organization. So if you are overwhelmed and you want to organize your home but you don't know where to start here. All right, now like I said, we're starting in the junk drawer. Now, the first thing I want you to do is to not call it that. I really believe that the way you think and refer to things in your house is going to affect the way that you treat them. So I don't want anything in my home to be referred to as junk. I don't want to have junk. I don't need junk in my house. I have things that are useful, that are kind of miscellaneous. So I have reframed my thinking about this drawer and I'm calling it the utility drawer. Utility drawer is full of useful things that you might need: batteries, straws, rubber bands, pens, forks, maybe not forks, scissors, whatever, you name it. Let's take a look at mine. We have been using our junk drawer for other things. We've actually been using it for K-cups, and we're in the midst of sort of cycling out of the use of K-cups. I've decided to repurpose the drawer to be a utility drawer because a lot of our stuff that is utility stuff was living in the other floor in our home, and it was sort of inconvenient to go downstairs to get, one AA battery. So I'm going to repurpose it today and hopefully inspire you to do your own drawer. Let's take a look at what I've got going on. Okay. So hopefully you've got a good idea of what's going on here. I'm sorry the sun is very bright today, but we appreciate it. So we've got a lot of different things going on here. And the first thing I always recommend when you're organizing a drawer is you want to take everything out of the drawer and separate it into categories that make sense for you. You can choose any categories you like. I always suggest things you're keeping, things you're donating, things you're throwing away that are trash, and things that belong in another space that somehow got misplaced, like this tin of coffee that I think does not belong here. Is there any coffee in it? Let's take a look. There actually is some coffee in it, so we're going to put that over in the coffee bar. So we're going to make some piles of things that we're keeping, things that we're throwing away, and things that we're donating. Now, my drawer is a little bit different here today. I don't think that I'll be donating or getting rid of much of anything in here. Everything in here is pretty intentional, but do the thing that works for you and your space. Everyone is an individual. Everyone's different. Oh my gosh. Oh. Magnet. We're going to separate this stuff into categories, and honestly I'm just going to use my countertop here to make piles. You don't have to get special bins or anything. It's not that fancy. We're just organizing a drawer, so let's get started. All right, I've got my drawer empty. There's some crumbs in here, so I'm actually going to vacuum them out, and I actually thought about stuff again, and some of the things I'm going to either get rid of or rehome are these straws. I don't use these straws. They're kind of thick for what I need them for. And these little bag closing clips, I guess, they've got some sort of film on them that is disgusting and keeps getting worse and worse over time. So I think I'm just going to let these go, and because we've got plenty of, kind of bag clipping things, and I think it's safe to let these things go. So I guess this was good for me too. There's a little coffee stain right there, so I'm just going to clean that up with a little bit of cleaner. This is a good time to actually clean the drawer as well if you haven't done that in a while. We have a liner at the bottom of ours, so it doesn't really need to get done, but I will clean this part of the drawer that sometimes tends to get a little bit like crummy, and things can fall, like liquids can fall there. So give that a good scrub. So once you've got all your piles on the counter, the next thing you want to do is measure your drawer. Make sure that when you're measuring, you are as accurate as you can possibly get, and just double check before you buy any kind of drawer organizers. I don't always recommend that people buy organizing products, but the only thing I really recommend that you make if you don't buy it is drawer dividers. You can get drawer dividers that are sort of cup shaped, where you can divide the items by placing this cup shaped thing inside the drawer, or you can actually physically have drawer dividers that go across like that in different shapes, different directions. I highly recommend that. It is utter chaos if I were to place everything back into the drawer without any boundaries. First of all, things can slide all over the drawer, which is always not, it's not great. And secondly, it makes it easier for your eye to find items if they are separated. So it's really the only organizing product that I recommend that you either invest in, or you can make ones out of empty cell phone boxes, any shallow boxes, cereal boxes, anything. You can actually cut the bottoms off and make your own drawer organizers for no money. But if you have the funds to invest in them, definitely do that. So let's measure the drawer. I happen to have a tape measure here. So the first thing you want to do is you want to measure the width of the drawer. And the width of this drawer is 13. Now, 13 is kind of a funny measurement because 13 is going to be out of the realm of your standard dimensions of drawer organizers. They usually come in 3-inch width. And depth, so like 6 by 9, 3 by 3, 12 by 6, you know, those kinds of things. So you might end up with a little bit of room on the side. That's okay for me, but if you want to exactly fill the entire space, you're going to have to really pay attention and do very careful shopping. But I'm going to tell you right now that standard drawer organizing widths are in 3-inch increments usually. So just be prepared for that if your drawer is 13 like this one. So the next thing I'm going to do, make sure you write that down, or you can draw a picture. You can do that too. Next, I'm going to measure the depth of the drawer. Depth is the length from front to back, and it is about 19 and a half. And the other thing you want to measure is the height of the drawer. This drawer is actually pretty deep. It's about 4 inches. Actually, I put this on the other side so that you can actually see the measuring tape. It's about 4 inches. So it's actually a pretty tall drawer, and I can stick pretty tall drawer organizers inside, but I don't really think that's necessary at this point. But again, when you're doing this, you want to be really careful to measure as many times accurately as possible so that you shop just once. Once again, I'm going to go across, and sometimes if you go across the front, you can get an even better, more accurate measurement. That way you're perfectly straight across, and it's actually about 13 and a half almost. So I know that I already bought drawer organizers for this drawer. I know I'm going to have some extra room, and I'm totally okay with that. Again, I'm going to measure across this way, and this time I'm going to use the side of the drawer to guide me just to make sure that I get an accurate measurement. We come again at 19 and a half, and I'm going to take another measurement of the height. It's about 4 inches. So I can't buy any drawer organizers larger than 4 inches tall. I probably don't even want to go 4 inches tall. I probably want to stay somewhere around 3 inches at the tallest. I think mine are about 2.5 inches tall that I purchased, so I'm totally safe there. If you're very savvy and fancy, if you want to, you can cut out a drawer like a piece of paper, or take a liner if you have one. That's the sides of your drawer to the store when you're shopping, if you're going to Target or if you're going to the Container Store, and you can fit your drawer organizers on the paper in the store. Or if you are so inclined, you can actually take the drawer out and take that to the store. I've seen that too. That works great. But if you don't want to, schlep this whole thing to the Target or whatever, you can just take the piece of paper or the liner to the store. The next thing you want to do is make sure that you account for the things you're going to put back into the drawer, and make sure you've accounted for those dimensions. Now, the longest things I'm going to be storing in this drawer are reusable straws, and I made sure that I bought drawer organizers that will accommodate the width of these straws, and I made sure that I also bought drawer organizers that will accommodate the sort of small size of these batteries. My advice is that you store things relative to the size of the thing you're putting inside it. So you want to put, you know, safety pins if they're small inside a smaller container. And if you have something larger, like, you know, lots of these screwdrivers, you're going to want to use a larger container and not just, you know, have one. So just be mindful of the things you're putting back in. Again, you don't need to buy products, but drawer organizers come in a variety of styles and things. And this is one that you can actually put in the drawer, and it's spring loaded, so it can be custom fit to the drawer. I did have this one in here earlier, just like this. And it fit kind of like that if you wanted to have just, you know, a utensil drawer. Again, if you wanted to use the bottom of a box, this is an actual drawer organizer, but it looks like it is a box. If you had some sort of old packaging, you could definitely use that. That fits right in there pretty well. And then, of course, there's drawer organizers you can buy. This is from a company called Interdesign, and it fits. It's got little feet on the bottom, very cute, fits right in there. And it's kind of modular, so you can put different ones all over depending on how many you need. I have some bamboo drawer organizers here just because I have them in my other drawers and I wanted to keep up some consistency of style. So you don't have to buy ones that are this expensive. They're pretty pricey. I think these are like $3.99 a piece, and then the larger ones are maybe like $6.99. They're not cheap, but I have them all around my kitchen. I wanted to be consistent. So once I decided how many I'm going to need, I'm going to arrange these in a way that I think will work well for me. So I'm going to do a little bit of trial and error, and you can do this too with your drawer. And like I mentioned, I'm going to have a little bit of breathing room on the sides here. If you do have a little bit of breathing room on the sides and you really don't like the idea of these moving around too much in the drawer, you can absolutely adhere them to the bottom with museum putty or museum gel. Today we have putty. This is totally removable. It just sticks them down to the bottom of the drawer so that they don't slide around and get all wacky, and so that when you open the drawer, it's a lot more peaceful. Okay, so this looks like a reasonable configuration. I may actually change some things around here. Let's see. Will this fit that way? No, it won't. This will fit that way though. And, you know, enjoy this process. Don't rush it. Don't get frustrated if it's not the way you like it first. Just have fun, just experiment. This is all about trial and error. Organizing does not work always the first time around. It's really just trial and error. That looks pretty good, actually. I kind of want to have like one on the side here. I kind of want to do this. I might be messing up my whole system here. Oh, I don't know if that was a good idea. Oh, but maybe. Well, is that the way it was before? Okay, this is what I'm gonna do. Okay, experiment with however much you want. Have fun. It's really laid back. It's not a big deal. So now we're gonna put some things inside. So I've got some tinier little pockets here that I'm gonna put batteries in. Oh, they fit really well in there. Put a couple of AAAs down here. Here we'll put some pens and this little opener. Here's a perfect place for toothpicks. We can put that right there. The straws. So I think we'll do one for glass straws and one for metal straws, along with the cleaners. Screwdriver, got little tools. Hopefully all of my little bag clips will fit here. Perfect. This looks pretty good to me. All right, this looks pretty functional to me. Now, I don't think I necessarily need the museum gel. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab some more of those AAAs to fill this space in downstairs. You know what? I'm going to just move this down here because the stuff in the back, I don't think I'm going to need to get to that often. The best thing about having a little bit of room on the side, and I've got here about an inch, I want to say, yeah, it's a little over an inch, is that if you have something like this that's small, this is a coffee whisk or a small whisk, not just coffee whisk, it's like a cream whisk. You can actually place that over on the side. Some of the best things about that is that it causes things to move around a lot less. If you have something just resting on the side, I can actually push it down if I want. But so that is the organized drawer, and we are ready to have this as a utility drawer. And if my needs change or anything, I can definitely just get different size drawer organizers, move stuff around. That's what I love about modular drawer organizers. Some of the ones that already come already divided in the big square or big rectangle are a little less flexible. I would recommend that you buy modular drawer organizers so that you can take them out and sort of play around with them. But again, you don't have to buy them. You can definitely make them out of whatever you have and just use whatever you can afford. Okay, that's it for today's video. I hope it inspired you to open up a drawer, start to organize it, and have a nice organized space where it inspires you and gives you that momentum to tackle more challenging spaces in your home, because this one is totally doable by almost anyone. And so you want to get some wins in before you go and organize any other spaces in your home. You want to do the easiest first to get that momentum going, to be like, okay, I can actually kind of do this. And maybe you want to like go do one shelf in your closet next. Let me know how you guys feel about these sort of organizing basics videos. I feel like starting small and doing really basic organizing spaces can be really helpful, because I feel like there's a lot of people who are very intimidated by the idea of even getting started. They don't know where to get started. So let me know if you found this helpful or not, or if you enjoyed it, and also let me know what is in your utility drawer, not your junk drawer. Don't call it that. Let me know what do you got in there. I'm curious. I'm very nosy. So, all right. I hope you enjoyed today's video, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye.